or good morning. If it is morning where you are, it's morning where I am. You can kind of see if I move around, the sun is like hitting me at weird places. And I am here with my publicity mentor, Selena Soo, and I'm super excited to be in the same virtual room with her and getting to share some of her insight and some of her genius with all of you. So I'm going to jump right in, Selena, and ask you a few questions because I know we only have about 10 minutes. So talk to us a little bit about how you got your start with publicity.
Absolutely. So I got my start with publicity because when I was in my mid-20s, I had this quarter life crisis. I was working at a nonprofit at the time in New York City. I had really low self-esteem and I found myself feeling clinically depressed. And things got so bad that I asked my mom to come to New York. She flew all the way from Vancouver, Canada, to be by my side because I was having trouble eating and putting food in my body and getting up in the morning. And she would accompany me to work on the subway. I felt like I was a schoolgirl with my mom taking me to school. And I remember saying to a friend, I need to find a way to feel better because I can't keep feeling this way. Do you know anyone who can help me? And that's when I got introduced to this life coach. And through her program, I got introduced to all these incredible experts, authors, visionaries, thought leaders. And I remember saying to some of my friends, like, wow, have you heard of these people? Because their ideas are changing my life. And my friends, most of the time, had no idea who I was talking about. And it was just then that it really dawned on me that sometimes people that have the most powerful message, story, or the most amazing product or service that can really help people improve their lives are that best kept secret. And so, yeah, that's what got me to become really passionate about publicity. And even though I identify as an introvert, I'm so passionate about helping others get their message out there. And now I also get my own message out there because it's not about, showing off or wanting to be the center of attention, but it is really like driven by that desire to help more people. So that's how I got my start in publicity.
And it's interesting because so much of that story that you just told parallels an experience that I had back when I was in law school, which I was in for a very short time. And my very first semester, I was really struggling. I had for about a year really been struggling with my depression. And at finals, my mom flew down to Florida to be with me, and she was getting me out of bed in the morning. She was making me breakfast. I think she was worried that I wasn't going to show up for my final exams. So I feel all of that. And then that's actually what led me to dropping out and focusing on my copywriting. And I know that for me in this last year, since I dropped out just about exactly a year ago, actually, that publicity has been a really big part of my experience as an entrepreneur, a big part of my success that I've been able to sort of fast track over the last year. So tell me what publicity means to you. How would you define publicity?
Yeah. So publicity is all about getting your name, your message, your story, your product and service out to more people and through third-party platforms. So not just your own website, your own blog, your own social media channels, but other people basically shouting your name from the rooftops, whether it is traditional media outlets like being on television or magazines or in a newspaper to more of the new media, which might look like being interviewed on a podcast or your favorite entrepreneur sharing your work with their audience, whether it's through their social media channels or their newsletter, or maybe even being invited to be a guest expert in someone else's program and speaking to their customers. So it's all about other people sharing your message through their platforms.
Yeah, and I've definitely experienced that as I've been working with you and with your team over the last few months. And like I said, it's been really influential in shaping my own business and my own career. But why is publicity important for entrepreneurs? Why is that something that we should be focusing on?
Absolutely. So as entrepreneurs, if we're looking to serve more people, to get more customers and clients, people need to see us as the best at what we do. And it's one thing for us to tell everyone, hey, I'm the best, you should hire me. But if you're the only one carrying that message, it's only going to go so far. It's really powerful to be seen on media outlets, to have other influencers, experts, people that have a reputation in the industry saying, hey, you got to check this person out. Their work is amazing. She is the number one person at what she does, check her out. So I think it's so important to build up that social proof and create that buzz around our work. And so the thing that Publicity does really powerfully is that it elevates your brand. You become seen as that go-to expert. It's one of the fastest ways to raise your credibility, which is important when people are considering different options of who they are going to work with. In addition to raising your credibility, Publicity also allows you to reach more people, because for a podcast interview, there could be hundreds of people, maybe even 1,000 or 10,000 people listening to a conversation, versus only having that conversation with individual people one at a time. So it really amplifies how far your message can spread. And then in addition, it can also really build that know, like, and trust factor when someone feels like they've had this experience of you, they've heard you, or they've read your story. It makes them more likely to want to work with you, and buy from you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that's an experience that I've shared, and being in your community, seeing other people posting their wins and there's growth that they've experienced, that definitely sounds right. So I know that both you and I identify as introverts. We identify as being shy. I know that last year when I was getting started with your Impacting Millions program, I had just dropped out of school. I had one copywriting client. And I'm wondering what you would say to people who might have some of those same feelings, that they don't feel like they're ready for publicity.
Yeah, I mean, I completely understand that. As someone who is naturally introverted and shy, and also a perfectionist, we can be like, I don't know if I'm ready, if the time's not right, what if I mess up? And so I've really found that the way to really be successful in business is to feel the fear and to do it anyways. It's all about in taking that imperfect action, because we can have a vision of where we want to be. Maybe we are comparing ourselves to our mentor, or someone that is so eloquently, speaking on the TEDx stage, or, people that are 5 years, 10 years, 20 years ahead of us, but we can't compare ourselves and expect to be at their level on day one of our publicity journey. And we have to understand that the only way to get better is by doing. And over time, we're going to bridge that gap from where we are right now to where we are going to be. So I'm going to be honest, like the first day that you do your very first podcast interview, it's not going to be as good as your 20th podcast interview, but the only way to get better is by doing. And for me, I also remind myself, like, why am I putting myself out there? I'm not going on camera and doing interviews and writing articles because I'm trying to boast and have everyone just look at me and be in the spotlight. I'm doing it because I have a passion and a purpose and a way that I really think can help people. And so even if I mess up in an interview, I ask myself, did I show up with presence? Was I generous with my knowledge and my story? Did I share something that could really help someone improve their life? And if the answer is yes, I did a great job. And so with all the people that I work with, I find that they're pursuing publicity and visibility because they're looking to help people. And so that's really fundamentally the number one reason why you should be getting publicity. So more people are aware of your work so that you can help more people and change more lives.
Yeah. And I think too, when you're nervous, or when you are uncertain, if you trip over your words, or if something comes out of your mouth that you're like, wait a minute, that's not what I meant, let me back up, that really just shows like you're a human. And I think that helps people connect to you in a different kind of way too.
I agree.
I know we're coming up on our last couple minutes, and that you have a free gift to share. So talk to me about that free gift.
Yes, ta-da!
Yay,
So
I have mine too.
are we twins? Okay, so this is my 2022 publicity calendar. So it's over 40 pages worth of story ideas, tips, dates, special hooks to get into the media. Because a lot of people, when they work with me, they wonder like, well, what's my first step? Like, what can I do to get the media's attention? What are they interested in? So the publicity calendar has my top tips, but also dates and hooks so that you can really pitch yourself in a timely and effective way. So they can go to impactingmillions.com/Kathleen calendar to download their very own publicity calendar. And this is 40 pages worth of goodness. So impactingmillions.com/Kathleen calendar. And so not only is this calendar going to help you map out your publicity, but it can also help you map out what you are doing on social media or even in your newsletter. So I highly recommend that people download this calendar.
Yeah, it's been really great. It's actually how I got introduced to you in the
Oh,
first place, was last year's the 2021 publicity calendar.
yeah.
And I definitely have used it and can vouch for it. And I will also add that link to the comments once we log off here so that people can click on that too. So Selena, thank you so much for sharing your insight. Thank you for sharing this free gift. I'm super excited to get to share all of that with all my people. So thank you also to everyone who has listened, whether you were here live with us, whether you are watching a replay. Give us a comment below letting us know what your big takeaway was from our few minutes here with publicity expert Selena Soo.
Take care. See you all. Thanks, Kathleen.